Singapore is a well-known expat hotspot. Ever wondered why is that so? Well, pretty sure there's a lot of answer, but personally, here are some of the things that I absolutely love about Singapore. So watch this and see if you agree with me. The number one thing that I love about Singapore is their public library. I mean, it's beautiful, it's resourceful, they have all sorts of different books from different categories. There are also electronic resources available. I mean, not that I use them very often, but it's available. And the ambience is so great. It is peaceful and calm and quiet even if there are people. And most importantly, it is free. The National Library Board in Singapore is the statutory board in Singapore that is in charge of all the public libraries. So aside from the National Library, which is situated in Victoria Street, you have 3 other regional libraries, one more coming up at the end of this year, I think, and 24 other public libraries across the island. So I used to think that libraries is just a good and free weekend chill place, but they actually offers other activities for their patrons. So there is storytelling session for children. They also organize talks or maybe workshops for the adults and the elderly. Fun fact, there's actually 2 specialized libraries in Singapore. The one located in Orchard is specialized in design, and the one located in Esplanade is specialized in performing arts. They even have piano room for you to practice the music scores that you can find on the shelf. Now we know Singapore has a tropical climate and it's hot and humid all year long. So the general dress style is casual and practical. Unless you're attending some event or you're going somewhere with a specific dress code. If not, flip-flops are fine, tank tops and t-shirts are fine, shorts are fine. Nobody is gonna stare at you if you go out like this. Nobody really cares. Like literally, it's so comfortable. You know, growing up, I was taught that I should dress modestly to avoid unwanted attention so that I can keep myself safe. And honestly, that annoys me a little. I think people shouldn't be taught how to dress, people should be taught on how to behave. Hit the like button if you agree with that statement. But you never really need to worry about safety when you're living in Singapore. This place is safe. I have not experienced any catcalling when I'm living in Singapore. And I also don't feel insecure when I'm out alone at night. You know, when it's like 9-10 p.m. and if I'm not home yet, my mom will be freaking out. But not in Singapore. And it's not just that. You know, when I first came to Singapore, I noticed that primary school kids are actually commuting all by themselves in public transport to wherever they need to be. I remember being really puzzled, like how can their parents be so chill with this? And then I realized, oh, it makes sense because it's Singapore. Thanks to the very strict and transparent law as well as the reliable police force, Singapore is one of the safest cities in the world with a very, very low crime rate. Now, speaking of police force, I have a question. You know, it is very common for me to see police officer on the train. And initially I thought maybe they're just commuters like us. But over time, I realized it doesn't matter which region I'm at in Singapore or maybe any timing that I will be at in Singapore. As long as I board the train or if I go near the train station, I will be seeing some police officer. And that makes me wonder, is this some kind of patrol duty or something? Does Singapore actually have the police officer patrolling the train stations? Let me know in the comments if you know. And honestly, if they do, wow. Also, thank you for the service in keeping Singapore safe. However, low crime doesn't mean that there is no crime. Situational awareness is still very important. Do not completely throw it away, even when you can chill a little bit. Aside from safe, convenient is the next adjective that I would describe Singapore for. And it's not just about the public transport. I mean, everybody has been saying it, so I shan't repeat it. It's about the structure in Singapore. So you see, I've lived in several neighborhoods in Singapore, and in any of those residential area, or they call it housing estates, you'll be able to find amenities like hawker centers, wet markets or supermarkets, clinics, schools very nearby to the housing estate. You literally can just walk down your flat and get a meal. Walk a bit further, you see a supermarket to get your grocery. And maybe next to it, you can find a clinic whenever you're sick. And it's not just normal clinic, you know, the basic clinic. There are also other things like traditional Chinese medicine clinics and dental clinics, or even a chiropractor. And the only thing that's not so easy to find is maybe mental health clinic, but I mean, it's already good enough. Singaporeans plan ahead. They like to think of all kinds of possibilities that may happen and come up with ways to counter all the different kinds of possibility. Yeah, so it is somewhat tiring and stressful at times, so I won't go so far to say that I like it, but I definitely appreciate it. An example I can give is how Singapore has handled the COVID-19 pandemic. So I work in healthcare and I see firsthand the changes and adaptations that has been done by the Singapore healthcare system ever since the pandemic hit. And I would say Singapore is very prepared. Because even before the pandemic hit, the healthcare workers are actually trained for such things to happen. We go for mock exercises, we were trained to use the new equipment, and we were also asked to familiarize ourselves with the new facilities that was built specifically for a pandemic. Truthfully, I consider myself lucky to be working in Singapore during a tough time like this, because I am confident knowing that when I tend to a patient, I am protected. And of course, there will be hiccups here and there because, we can never predict the future however much we want to. But generally, I would think that Singapore has handled the pandemic rather well. And also, shout out to our authorities and all the frontliners and also every single profession in society that has played their role well in keeping everything running. There, here are those things that I love about Singapore. And if you like content like this, do subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more. And I guess that's all for today. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!